Hello guys, and welcome to the Nexus wallet. I want to thank you so much for picking this up, and I just also want to let you know that I've been thinking and working on this for a very long time. As you know, or as you may know, I'm part of the Murphy's team, and here they pretty much let us do whatever we want in terms of magic. When it comes to this wallet idea, I've always loved wallets. I have tons and tons of wallets at home. You know, some they have the peak features, others have the cart to wallet. A lot of the times when they're put together, the wallet becomes very big and bulky. So I wanted to take everything, put it into one very small, minimalistic design, which is what I keep seeing out there. More and more wallets are coming out in the regular world, not in the magic industry. And they're just getting smaller and smaller, sleeker and sleeker. I wanted my wallet to have that small, minimalistic design and still have all of the features like peak, the cart to wallet, and also the out to lunch. So when I began with the idea, I basically just made it real quick out of playing cards, and I showed it to the team. Immediately they all liked it, so then I moved on to cardboard, and I built it with cardboard and tape, put it together just to make sure that the concept was gonna work. And then we got the leather, and then we started building it, and it looked really messed up. But the concept was there, and it was actually functional and working. So as we started to put it together, we started to notice, wait, what if we add a clip? Because I wanted the motion of the peak to be as hidden and as natural as possible. So then the clip came about, and then because we added the clip, now we were able to add the out to lunch principle. Then we also wanted to include that cart to wallet. So the first iteration of that cart to wallet was very ugly. It did not look very good, and slowly it developed into what you will see later in this video. Once again, I want to thank you so much for picking this up. In this video, we're going to go over all of the features of the wallet, how you can use it as your everyday wallet. Plus, we'll also go over some routines to get you started. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the Nexus wallet. All right, so we're getting ready for the 10-hour worth of instructions that we have here for you. And so make sure you grab some drinks, some snacks. No, I'm just totally kidding. But we did come up with so much material that it could have been 10 hours. So I want to apologize for the length of the instructions. It's just we wanted to include as much of the utility moves and as much as the effects and things that you could do with the wallet, whether it was for magic, mentalism, or some of those visual stuff. We did leave some stuff out for you to discover on your own so you can have as much fun as we did. Also, throughout the video, you're gonna see me using a wallet, and it's a little bit beat up. That's my Nexus wallet. It's technically my first prototype. That's the one that I got from the very beginning, and it's the one we've been using to come up with everything you see in this super long video. So the one you receive is gonna look absolutely perfect and pristine. So without any further ado, let's get into what you receive in your box. Let's take a look at the features of the wallet. So of course, I'm sure you've already opened this. There's the instructions, link, and password on the lid. And then you have your wallet right inside, which I'm sure you've already taken it out. Now, very quickly, I will go over the features of the wallet, and then we'll put it together so you can have your wallet as your everyday wallet. So right here at the front, this is where the ID window is. Also, right here, we have 3 different spots for you to put your credit cards. And then right in here, we have another section so you can put extra things. We'll go over all of those later. On the back, you'll find your clip, one opening for your credit cards, and then one more opening for the credit card right above. And then your zipper is right on the side like this. You also have a clip, which is a reversible clip. You can either use the wallet without the clip, with the clip on, and you can also reverse the clip and put it in like so. You will see what all of these features let you do in just a second. You'll also receive this business card with some elastic thread around it and a weird looking plastic piece. We're gonna go over what these are for in a later section in the ID transpose section. Now, before we start putting all your stuff in the wallet, let me show you the features of the wallet, the magic features of the wallet, so you can see how they work. So right here where your ID goes, you'll notice that that also opens, and you have a section on one side and another section on the other side. This is where you're gonna be getting your peak. Also, the opening for your credit card on the back, the top opening actually goes inside of your zipper compartment. So that's the section from which you're going to be doing the card to wallet or any of the other routines in the video. It's going to be coming in through this side. Now that you know basically how the wallet works, quote unquote, let's put all our things together inside. Let's start with your ID. You're gonna have a natural tendency to want to put your ID from the top because all the openings are from the top. But we specifically put the opening for your ID on the opposite side so that it would never interfere whenever you're working on your peak. So we're gonna open up your side where you get your peak. You're gonna open it up, and then you'll notice that there's an opening at the bottom where the clear plastic is. That's where you want to input your ID. So that's going to go there. That way, now whenever we put any business card into the peak section of the wallet, it will never interfere, or it won't by mistake go into your ID. Of course, we'll continue on by placing your cards in the other sections. Now, when you're going to put your card in the bottommost section, the one that's closest to your ID, you want to make sure that it's going below the clear acetate on top, okay? So if you want, you can just open it up like this, and then the only place in which you can place that card will be in the bottommost credit card slot. You're then gonna put your other cards inside, in the topmost, and in the one all the way at the top. So there we go, we can close that up. Now we'll turn it over, and then you can place any other card or multiple cards back there. Now I do want to mention, since I just said multiple cards, this back pocket here has a little bit more give than the ones in the front. So you can actually put multiple cards in this back pocket. I do want to point out, when you first start using your wallet and you start putting in your credit card, it might feel a little bit tight. But that's normal. Leather is supposed to feel tight like that, and over time, it's gonna loosen up and you're gonna be able to put your card in and out very easily. So let's talk about your money. Where does your money go? And there's actually many different places in which you can put your money. I like to have the money, since I barely ever carry money with me, I like to have it in this side pocket here. Okay, that's usually where I put it, and it's very easily accessible. But you can very well also place it inside of the zipper compartment. Now you can just place all of your money there, close it up, and you have your money safe and sound. Now, some of you might be worried that your money maybe can come out because there is an opening up here, but I've never had it come out or even attempt to slightly come out. Just in case, for those of you who are worried, my recommendation would be to keep the openings of the bill, so the parts that you can flick through, towards also the opening of your card to wallet, okay? That way, it's gonna be much harder for the bills to come out. The next section in which you can put your bills is also on the other side of the wallet, underneath the clip. So you can place your money right underneath the clip, and that's going, let me make them nice and neat, and they're gonna be right there. Now, of course, you can have the clip facing with the elastic up or the elastic face down. And then your bills are gonna be able to be right there, safe and sound. One thing I want to point out is that when we were designing the wallet, we thought about using the magnetic clasp money clip. The only downside is that the more bills you have, the weaker and more likely you are of losing your valuable money. So that's why we went with the clip. It also lets us do a few extra things, but technically the more bills you put, the stronger and the more secure your money becomes. If you, for whatever reason, you only want to carry a single bill, so then you can also do that. All you have to do is take the bill out and put a little pressure down. All you're doing is making sure that the clip is as closed as possible. Once you've pressed down your clip and you know that it's flat and tight, you can place it in the wallet. And then if you want to put just the single bill, it's going to be able to hold it there also very, very tightly. Another option for you, if you'd like, if you don't carry many bills, you can just take whatever bills you have and fold them one more time and then place those on your elastic like so. Now, you don't just have to put bills underneath the clip like this. You can also have, imagine these are credit cards. You have extra credit cards that you want to carry with you. You can place those extra credit cards underneath. Then you can have your business cards right in this elastic like this. You can also take extra credit cards that you may have and place those extra credit cards inside of this pocket here. Basically, we just wanted to make sure that you could really use this wallet as your everyday wallet. If you have tons of credit cards, tons of cash, a bunch of business cards, we wanted you to be able to carry everything with you without hindering the functions of the peak and the card to wallet and the out to lunch principle. We also want to mention that you don't have to have your clip and your wallet together at all times. You can separate them and you'll still have all the features on your wallet except the out to lunch feature. You can take your business cards and place them in the lowermost pocket there, and then that's it. You'll have all of your features going on in your wallet and you have a much smaller profile. And also, aside from magic, let's say you're going to go bike riding and you don't want to take the full wallet with you. You just want to take the most important documents or just a few, some money, some cash. You can just take that and use the clip on its own. Now, keep in mind you won't have the card to wallet, you won't have the peak feature, but you will have whichever valuables you want with you. And you can even add the business cards on the back with the elastic, and now you'll have the out to lunch principle that you can use. So once again, you don't have to think of the wallet and the clip combined as one. You can separate them and use the features separately as you see fit. Now that you know the basic functions of your wallet, you know where all of your items go, you know how to set it up as your everyday wallet, let's get into the peaking functions of this wallet. We're going to go over multiple ways in which you can get your peak, as well as how to make it completely natural. I'm so excited about this. Let's start talking about the peaks. Okay, and just in case if you don't know what a peak is, I'll demonstrate one for you, and that's you just give a card to one of your spectators and they will secretly write or draw anything on that card. Now, you don't know what they drew, so they're keeping that a secret from you, and you can have them or you place it yourself right there with your ID. Then when it comes time for you to draw something, you've already peaked their information. So I just took a peek at 100% of what they drew. Okay, so let's go over how that works and how you can also accomplish this. So it's very, very simple. As you already know, the wallet does open almost like a book right here, and it closes via magnets. So all we're going to do is we're going to first condition the movement to the spectator. So the first thing we're going to do is condition the movement that we want to pretty much erase from their minds that you ever did. And the way we're going to do that is by just naturally taking one of your business cards from your clip. Okay, so if you have your business cards on the clip and you have your wallet in your right hand, when you turn the wallet over to naturally grab the business card, you're in the same position that you need to be in to get your peak. Okay, so you're going to hand them the card. Now, when they place the card inside, If you notice on your wallet, if we take a look right here, you'll see that this flap that opens has a little lip, a protrusion that comes ever so slightly forward away from the leather right here. Let's take a look at the lip that's letting you insert the business card very easily into that section there. As you can see, it's protruding by about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters off of the leather. And if you have it land flat against the wallet, you'll notice that that lip perfectly matches and it lands flush with the bottommost credit card slot. That is so that it's hidden once it's closed. Now, that lip is there also so that you can very easily insert the card into your peeking section. On top of that, it will also help you insert the card without you even having to look. So you can insert the card by feel alone. And the way you're going to do that is by holding the business card in your opposite hand, so in my left hand in this case, and I'm going to place the lowermost corner that you see there against the leather side of the topmost ID section, right there. Now, all I need to do really is just slide it slightly forward, and I'm going to feel a click. That click, you can probably hear it like this, will let you know that you can now insert the card, and it's going to go straight into that section. So if we want to try it again without looking, it just goes like that, and you can easily insert it into that section like that. So that's what that lip is there for. It's just to make your life a lot easier during performance. One more thing I want to mention about the lip is that it's also there to create the illusion that it's the same spot in which you put in your ID. So your spectators are going to believe that that's the same section in which you put in your ID. Now, both you and I know that that's where you're going to be getting your peak, and now we're going to get into how you actually get your peak. So as you remembered, we naturally went to grab a card. So we're going to follow that same movement. We're going to do the same motion again, which we have already preconditioned our spectators for that movement. And we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to do something slightly different, and that's going to let us take a 100% peek of whatever it is they wrote or drew on the card. Okay, so just for now, imagine that the spectator is right here in front of me. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Imagine the hand is coming over, it grabs the card, and that's it. Okay, now with the hand there, you're here, you get the peek. Look, I'm taking a peek at it. We take it out, and then that's it. We're set. That's how quick the peek is. You'll also notice the angles for this are really, really good. Here, if it's opened here, we know for a fact that anybody in front of us will not be able to see. Also, anybody to our right will not be able to see. And I'll turn around so you can see exactly what I mean. Right here, you can't see it. Anybody from my right side is not going to be able to see it. So the angles are incredibly good. And then because you have to grab that card, this hand is also going to be covering the angles on your left. So you're pretty much completely covered. If you want to be even more covered, you just bring your hands closer to your body, and that's going to let even more people be even close to you on both sides, because you have complete control of what can be seen from all angles. All right? So once again, you're going to be using your thumb to open up the wallet. Now, it's also important how you use the thumb, because then you can make this really, really obvious. For instance, if you were to take the tip of your thumb and open it like that, it becomes really obvious. You can clearly see that the thumb is doing something. The thumb is moving for some reason. Your spectators won't know why, but we want to make this as invisible as possible. And so in order to do that, if you take the side of your thumb, not the tip of your thumb, but you take just the side of your thumb and you place that against the side of your gimmick right on this top section here. If you place that there, you use that part of the thumb to open it up. As you can see, your thumb is straight. So the thumb is always straight. It never bends. If you start bending the thumb, it looks like there's some movement and there's some sort of awkwardness that's going to happen. And we want to hide all of that. So remember, thumb goes straight. It goes on the side right here. And we're going to use that to pry the gimmick open. Okay? Now, to close it, it's the same thing. We don't want to close it in a rush or by bending the thumb. So really the way I like to think about it is I imagine with my fingers here very lightly, I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure, and that's going to, look, the thumb doesn't move. All I'm doing is applying a little bit of pressure in those fingers, and it just closes it, okay? If you combine that with bringing the thumb down on top, it appears as if there's no movement. So here, it's opened, and now when we close it, the thumb, it appears that it stays in the same spot. Let's take a look at what it looks like from the magician's point of view. So we're here, and we're just going to turn around. We get our peak as we close everything. Once again, from the magician's perspective, we're going to have our thumb where it needs to be, and as the hand turns over, we're going to open it up. We get our peak as we take our card, and then we close it up as we bring our attention to the card here. And then one more time at speed, it would look something like this, and that's it. Now, as we know, the bigger action is going to cover the smaller action. The bigger action is turning the wallet over. That's our big action, which is actually very small. And then the small action is just opening up the flap and closing it, okay? Of course, the thumb is remaining straight, but there is a slight little movement, and it's just going from here to there and then back. But we're never bending it. Okay, now this is what it would look like here. Now let's combine both movements, the bigger action with the smaller action, and then we'll see what that looks like. It should look almost invisible. So let's see that now. We're here, we're going to get our peak, and then we're going to move back. Okay, so that's basically what it should look like. And I also want to point out the angle in which you want to turn your hand, okay? So if you turn your hand very naturally, if you just look at your hand and turn it over, that's the angle that you want to use. Also, you're going to get your best peak when your hand is perfectly straight, as if you were holding, let's say, a gun, okay? So when you're here, your hand turns. This is where I can get 100% of my peak. One more thing I want to talk about before we move on to the next peak is the angle or the timing in which you want to open this. Because if you open it here, it's way too soon, and that's not a very impressive trick. They will know exactly what it is that you're doing. So what you want to do is wait until this credit card or this side of your wallet here on the other side is facing them. Once you know that they can see that section of the wallet, that's the time that you want to open up the gimmick. That's going to ensure that they never see the gimmick opening at any time. Okay, so just ensure this is facing them by the time you start opening your gimmick, and you should do it in one continuous move. So you don't just wait there and then open. It should be here and it starts to open. Okay, so one fluid motion will open up your peak. Now let's talk about how you can do this same exact peak without using the clip, which is very, very simple. We're just going to remove the clip. We'll take the cards and place them in the bottommost credit card slot right there. And now everything is exactly the same. So whenever you want to get your peak, you come over, you can open it up just like I am there. We'll take it out. Now it's important also to know where your attention goes, right? So everything has to be motivated. There's a reason why you're looking at the wallet. And the reason you're looking at the wallet is because you're grabbing that card, right? Now, you want to also bring the attention to the card because this is not important at all. So whenever we're doing, whether we're using the clip or without the clip, you always want to know what's your motivation for getting the peak. And that goes for any peak, not just this wallet, it also goes for any wallet you may have. Once we turn this over, we know that we're getting the card, and because we know we're getting the card, this is our focus point, this is what we care about, and this is not as important anymore, so we can put it aside. All right, so Once we get the peak and we have it, our attention comes here. It doesn't matter what happens to this now. You don't have to take out a business card. You can take anything that you want. It could be a dollar bill. It's basically going to come down to whatever routine you're doing. So maybe you could take a card that has the hypnosis little swirlies, and then you're using that to hypnotize them and get the information like that. Or in whichever way you want, you can take money and you're gonna be doing a bet, or you're gonna bet anything. I'm just kind of leaving it open so that you know that you don't have to, your motivation doesn't have to grab a business card. It could be to grab a playing card, money, the hypnosis card, a pocket watch, and then you hypnotize them. It could be absolutely anything that you want. So now that you know the basics of the peak, let's get into all the other peaks that we have waiting for you. Now that we have taken a look at the basic peak, whether you're using the clip or without the clip, let's go over a few different ways in which you can also obtain your peak. So for instance, in this one is going to be as you put the wallet in your top jacket pocket. The reason we wanted to include this is because you might be used to getting your peak as you put the wallet in your top pocket. So let's take a look at what that looks like now. Once again, we'll have the drawing go into the wallet, and as we place the wallet in, we're getting our peak. As you may have already obviously guessed, all we're doing is we're opening the wallet once it's behind the pocket. So an exposed view, it would look something like this. As you come open, this comes here. Now you pretend like you're having trouble finding your pocket, and that's the excuse to look, and that's when you can take a look at what it is that they drew on there, and then your wallet would go into your pocket. Okay, so in one continuous motion, they would put in the card with their drawing, with their word, or whatever it is, and as you put the wallet away, you're getting your peak. So once again, from the magician's perspective, remember your thumb is contacting the side of our opening here, and we're going to bring the wallet in. Once it's covered, we're going to open it up to get our peak and instantly close it and put it into our pocket. So why would you use this peak over the other one? Maybe the routine that you're doing doesn't require you to grab an extra card. So this motion doesn't make sense anymore. And then you're putting away the wallet because you don't need the drawing anymore. So the reasoning for your routine could also dictate which peak you're going to be using. Also, I would like to mention that because the peak is happening inside of your pocket, it's way less likely that you will flash or somebody will be able to see anything, because of course it's happening up here and inside of your jacket. So again, just know that any of the peaks that we're teaching you, you can use whichever one flows better for whatever routine or whatever environment you're working in. Another way that you might want to get your peak if you don't have a jacket pocket is, let's say you have a hoodie on. Usually you would have a pocket right here, and you're going to do the same exact thing. You have the card go inside of the wallet, and as the hand is coming towards you, you're going to open it up so you get your peak, and then put the wallet inside of your hoodie pocket. Now, I like wearing hoodies a lot, so this one works really, really well for me. One little tip that I can give you is if you actually try to put your wallet into your pocket, it's going to be kind of difficult. So when you do it, you're going to struggle, but you want to struggle because that's your reasoning to take the peak. So only after you have struggled to put it in and you can't, do you look down, you get your peak, and just for a second, you open up the hoodie pocket and slip your wallet into the pocket, and you're going to be able to get your peak like that. Now we're going to take a look at that hoodie peak while I'm actually wearing a hoodie, and from the magician's point of view. So let's see. Remember, you're going to come in, you're going to pretend you missed the pocket. That way you have to look down, and then when you look down, you're just going to make sure you open it up so you get your peak as you put the wallet into your pocket. So once again, we're here. We're going to come over, open it up, and put it inside. Now, if you'd like, you can also come over. Once you come in, that's when you struggle, and now you look. So when we're getting our peak here, you can do this completely 100% surrounded, because nobody's going to be able to see what it is that you're seeing. So that's the hoodie peak from the magician's point of view. One more way in which you can get your peak is by just putting the wallet in your pocket. Very, very simple. It can't really get any more natural than that. So you get them to put the card in. Now you go to put it into your front right pants pocket. And when your hand is already covered here like this, I'm just gonna open it ever so slightly. I can see the whole entire card. Of course, this is the exposed view, but you would really be seeing this, so you don't see anything at all. And you just slip the wallet right into your pocket like that. So let me show you that one more time. You're here. This comes down. Once it's covered against your body, there you can open it up. I'll show you here so you can see. Your hand would be here, also creating just a little bit of cover. And then you're just going to push the wallet into your pocket after you have gotten your peak. From the magician's perspective, as we put it in our front pocket, once it's covered, that's when we get our peak. We can see everything, and then we slip it into our pocket like so. So once again, if we take a look, our thumb is ready to open it up. Once we know that it's fully covered, we'll get our peak and place the wallet into our pocket. So in full speed, it's going to look something like this. They place the card inside. We come over, open it up, and put it in our pocket. That's one more way in which you can get your peak. Now, if you're going to put the wallet into the other pocket, you can do pretty much the same thing. Let me take my phone out. But all it is you get your wallet, and now you're going to transfer the wallet from your right hand to the left hand. And in that motion, and the reason you're doing that transfer is because you're going to be placing the wallet into your left front pocket. So you're here, the wallet comes over. Here I'm getting my peak. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting my peak during the transfer. So if I don't have this hand, it would look like this. Now I grab it, there I can see everything, but my hand is going to grab that and close it as it just slips into the pocket. Okay, so from here, we come here, and then it goes into the pocket like that, and then we've gotten the peak right in the middle in this transition here when the hand is covering. Okay, so let's take a look at placing the wallet into the left pocket from the magician's point of view. As you can see, we're getting ready with the thumb here. Both hands are going to meet because the wallet's going to transfer. We get our peak right there as we bring it into the pocket and slip it inside. So once again, in full speed, it's going to be something like this, and it just goes into the pocket like that. It's a very nice little quick peak that you can do. I recommend using this peak because you are doing it in the middle of motion, and you really don't want to stay in the middle for too long. I recommend using it mostly just for a drawing duplication. If you have stuff to read, it might be a little bit difficult for you to get that information. You can still do it if you time it and you pretend like you're moving, like Quantum Marie says, in water. If you do it very slowly, everything's going to flow, and you're going to have way more time to take a look at the peak. And that's your left front pocket peak. Let's talk about some ways in which you can get your peak using your spectators now. So, because we don't have any extra spectators here, what we're going to do is we're going to use our imagination, and this glass will now become somebody's hand. Okay? So, very, very simply, I will show you a two-hand version and then a one-handed version afterwards. So for the two-handed version, we're going to be requesting for their hand. We're going to be asking them the question, can I see your hand? And we're using that question to kind of like distract them and allow ourselves to get that peek. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. The card will go inside, and then you'll say, can I see your hand for a second? Yep. And then you'll put the wallet on top of their hand. Now, what's happening is very, very simply, we're going to do the same opening. We're going to place the wallet into our left hand. And as we do, we're going to open it. And we're going to leave it opened. Now, the angles for this one, I recommend for just a few spectators, or practice this in front of a mirror so you can clearly know your angles. But I will tell you, all you have to do is you're going to hold the wallet at a 45-degree angle in your left hand, as I'm holding it now, and you're going to be facing the back of the wallet at your spectator's face. If you do that, you can practice this in a mirror, you'll see they will not be able to see the opening in your peek. Okay? Now, just be aware that you might be able to peek if you kill or if you bend your wrist. This little section of the wallet might flash for you. So I'm just letting you know, be aware, check your angles in the mirror so that you know exactly how it is that you have to hold the wallet. It's very, very simple, especially since you're going to be occupying your spectator's mind as you're asking them for their hand. They obviously don't know that you have a peek wallet. So you're going to ask them, can I see your hand? Now, if you notice, I still haven't gotten the peek, and that's because this isn't important. So as we're doing this, the only important thing is their hand. So that's where our attention is going to go. Only when the wallet becomes important are we going to look at it, and that's going to be to hand it to them. At the same time that we take the wallet and we're going to hand it to them, that's when we're going to get our peek. And it's going to fly by completely unnoticed. So once again, we're here. We open it. Can I see your hand? Right now it's open, but I'm only going to look at it when I need to grab it, because I'm going to look at it to grab it, right? So I'm going to take it. That's my peek. And then we'll put it right into their hand, their open hand. You can then have them hold the wallet with both hands or whatever it is you want to do. So remember, this is the spectator's hands, and now we're going to take a look at asking for their hand and then placing the wallet in their hand. From the magician's point of view, of course, that's what you're seeing. So let's take a look at that now in slow-mo. From here, we're going to ask for their hand. We need to transfer the wallet to ask for their hand here. That's the peek opened over there. And then as we're going to take the wallet, we close it up and put it into their hand. Now, you may have noticed that I used my pinky. So you can actually use your pinky to close the wallet as you hand it to them. That's something that I like to do. So you're here. You'll ask them for their hand the second they give you their hand. You can grab the wallet with this hand, or you can bring it forward and close it with the pinky. You have those two options that you can do. Now let's take a look at another variation using only one hand of the peek that you just saw. So all it is you're going to do the same thing. You're going to ask your spectators for their hand, and as you do, you're using that moment to get your peek. Okay, so let me see your hand. And here we're opening up the wallet. I'll turn around so you can see it, and you can get the peek like that as you're asking for their hand. So card goes in, tell them, can I see your hand? And as you put the wallet on top of their hand, that's when you're getting your peek. Okay, so it's very, very simple. This one, you of course want to be sure that you don't have anybody on your left, because if you do, they will know what the person has drawn already, just like you. So just make sure that you don't have anybody on your left. And I guess if you do, I'm just thinking about this right now, is you could place the wallet, you could use almost like both hands as a shield to place the wallet. I've never done that before. Usually this one, I just like to do it with one person. They put it in. And then, can I see your hand? They say yes. Then when you go put the wallet in their hand, you've gotten your peek. So if you're just doing it for one person, I'll turn around here so you can see. So we ask for the hand. Can I see your hand? The second they say yes, now we can open. Here I have the complete peek. And as I put the wallet on their hand, it just naturally will close. So one of the reasons I like to use this over the other one where you put it in the hand is that it seems, or it appears, or at least it feels like less is happening. Almost like it feels like nothing happened. can I see your hand? Yeah, and then you just put it down, and then in that action, we got our peek. So it's just incredibly fast, direct, to the point, and it really feels like nothing has happened. The only downside is your angles to your left are a little bit more opened. So I like to reserve this peek whenever I'm doing like one-on-one or 2 spectators, or I know that nobody's gonna be on my left side. From the magician's point of view, asking the spectator's hand, which is the wine glass, so can I see your hand? Now we have our peek. When they give it to you, we'll come over and place it in their hand. Now I will mention, it doesn't really matter that much if when you're asking for their hand, if you place this on their hand and then you close it, or if you just close it all in one motion. If you try it on yourself, for instance, if I were to try it here, you'll see that it feels pretty much exactly the same no matter which way I do it. So if I do it by closing it first and putting it down, it feels pretty much the same as having it open and just putting it down. Because I don't have a spectator here, it's really difficult for me to remember to look at the eye line. When there's a spectator here, you just see them, you're talking with them. But let me show you what that peek would look like, the one with one hand, making sure that we're looking at the eye line. You never want to be looking at the wallet whenever you do that. So can I see your hand for a second? They'll say yes. At this moment, this is open here, and it's only when I'm gonna bring it to their hand that I'm gonna look down. So we're here, say, can I see your hand for a second? They say yes, and then you just put it on their hand, and when you put it in their hand, that's when you get your peek, okay? So this whole time, from exposed view, it would look like this. We're looking at them and say, can I see your hand for a second? They'll say yes. When they put it down, we go like that, and we're set. So just keep an eye on your eye line and on your spectator's eyes, and be aware of when it is that you're getting your peek. You want to get your peek during the moment that it makes sense, right? So if I were to do this, can I see your hand? It doesn't make sense that I'm looking here because I'm talking about their hand. So the thought and the action, they don't match, and so it's just going to feel weird. So whenever you are getting your peek, just know that it's 100% fully motivated. If you're asking for the hand, let me see your hand. You can look at their hands because you're talking about their hands, right? And it's only when you're going to put it in their hand to hold that it makes sense that you look, because you have to know where to place it. So because you have to look, the peek will go by completely unnoticed. You can also use this peek not on your spectator's hands. You can also do the same exact thing, but just placing it on the table. And there's a few little different motivations that you can use here. For instance, if we were to have, let's say, a bill on the table, right? You can go place it, and as you move the bill away, you get your peek. So now you're here, you're going to get your peek. As you move that away, the attention is going to go to the bill, and your peek will go by also completely unnoticed. From this point, you can push it over for a spectator to hold, or you can just leave it there for whatever it is you want. But once again, you don't even need to have something on the table. That's just an extra little piece of misdirection for you to get away with your peek. But really, you can just have absolutely nothing and say, you know what, we're going to place the wallet right there, and then you get your peek at that moment. So just like that, by placing it on the table. Again, with the angles, you're going to be obviously placing this down. Now, it depends at what moment of this wrist turn you open up your wallet that your angles will start to change, okay? So if you notice the wrist is moving here, if my spectator is right in front of me, I can immediately open it and start to get that peek. But if I have spectators on my left side, right, at an angle like this, 45 degrees, so then you just want to make sure that this part of your credit card, once your spectators can see this credit card, you are safe to open up the wallet. They will not be able to see. If your spectators cannot see this topmost credit card, you will most likely flash. Now, it also goes without saying, if you do have the object there and you're going to place it down, this motion, the eyes will try to follow that object, whatever it is, and it could even be the glass. It doesn't have to be this, so you just do this, and now the attention goes there, not here. But you've already gotten your peek. Now that we have the wallet on the table, let me tell you about another peek that you can do once the wallet is on the table. So we have the wallet here. Oh, and for this one, we'll use the clip. So we're going to take the clip, we'll put a card or a few cards right under there. And this is what the peek would look like. So we're here, they've already put the card inside, and now you need to take a card yourself so you can replicate the drawing or whatever it is you're going to do. So you just grab the wallet, you take one of the cards, and that's the peek. Okay, so very, very simple, super easy, and this one is another one of my absolute favorites. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this their card as the handle to open the peek and to give it to you. So from exposed view, it's going to look like this. We're just going to grab the wallet. Notice how I'm grabbing it. I'm using my index finger to contact the top of that business card. So grab it. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use that to open up the window and give me that peek. At the same time, I'm going to be grabbing one of those business cards. Now, I know you can't see me grabbing the business card, so I will turn like this so you can see it. So here we go, we take it, and once again, attention goes here, but we also have to know what's going to happen here. So let me show you what this hand's going to do. All it does is it closes the gimmick, and it puts the wallet back down. And it should happen in an instant. So we're here, we open it, and it comes back down. Okay? Now, for this one, it goes without saying, you do need to use your clip. Okay? Because you have to pull the card out from the bottom of the wallet, which means you can't put your business cards up here, because it wouldn't, I mean, I guess it would make sense if you pull it like this, but not too much. So I recommend only doing this peek if you are going to be using the clip, and all you do is you take the card like this, attention goes here as this goes back down. We never look back at the wallet because it's not important. Okay? Now let me show you another little variation that you can do with the same peek. So let's say for some reason you don't want to use your index finger. Maybe you're like, I don't want to use my index finger to get a peek. I want to use my thumb. So let me show you how you can use your thumb to get the same peek. Okay, it looks just like this. Now I'll put my index finger at the top so you can see, but now I just used the thumb. Now you might be asking yourself, what thumb did you use? Because it wasn't that one, it was this one. So it's very, very simple. Let me show you what's the best angle, I think from here. So all we're doing is picking up the wallet into the hand, and when we come grab a card, we're only using the two fingers to grab the card. Only the two fingers, because the thumb of your right hand is going to pry open the wallet or the little peek section as you pull out your card. Okay, so we're here, we're gonna pick it up, the thumb is gonna open it, as you can see, and that's gonna grab the card. So you really only need to use the thumb to open up. Let me show you like this, so you can see. You only really need to use the thumb for a split second, and then you can go and continue to grab the card. So the thumb will come, open it for just a split second, and then you'll take the card out. Of course, you're holding the wallet like this, so you have all the cover in the world. The angles for this, as you may have already guessed, are going to be best when you face this towards your spectator and they get better and better towards your right. So one way that you can kind of define your angles is depending on which angle you have your wrist, you're going to have more and more spectators that you can have on your right. The more you have your wrist cracked and open, the less angle you have on this side. So what I recommend is having the wallet pointing at your belly button pretty much. So a natural position. Also, I should mention that you should place the wallet on the table so that you can naturally pick it up. You don't want to twist your, like if it was like this, I have to twist my hand, that looks really, really weird. So what we want to do is place the wallet exactly how you know that you're going to pick it up. That way, when you pick it up, it feels very natural and it doesn't raise any alarms and it doesn't feel weird. It feels completely natural. The hand just comes, picks it up, takes the card, and it sets it back down. Now we're going to go over a great peek that Titanis came up with, and it's super simple to do, yet incredibly deceptive. As you know, they're going to have some sort of information on the card, and what you're going to do is you're going to use, if you're familiar with the Cardini change, where you make the card change by, let me show you here real quick. You make the card change by having it slide down with your pinky. Maybe if I show you with this card move, if you're familiar with that card move, you're going to be doing pretty much the same exact thing with that pinky to pull down and open up the flap. And you put pressure on the opposite side of the wallet right here, and that causes the wallet to open. And you're doing that with one hand. So the pinky pulls down, the thumb pushes down. If you have your hand turned over, now you can't see it from your angle, of course. I can see absolutely everything. You can, of course, use this move as you tell them here, I want you to imagine that there's like a portal in front of us, and then we just did the peak there. So if you just use your fingers to draw a circle, a portal, a screen, or anything, as you're doing it, you're really opening it up. I'll move this hand so you can see. You're really opening it up, and you're getting a clear view of whatever it is they wrote in there, whether it's a drawing, a picture, words, numbers, anything. You can also use this same move as we taught you earlier while asking them for their hand. So let's imagine we have our spectator right here, and we say, here, can I borrow your hand real quick? And then we put it down. So we're doing the movements, we're opening it up. In the action, we open it up, we get our peak, and then we can put the wallet in their hand, on the table, or we can get rid of it. Now, one more thing that Lloyd Barnes also mentioned is you can use that same peak as you move an object on the table. So let's say you want to clear the table, you use the same hand that has the wallet, and the hand is going to move whatever object, in this case that business card, or let's say we have these cards and we're going to push them over to our spectators. Like this, we get our peak, we put the wallet down, and then we can move on with whatever it is we're doing. There's one thing that I do want to point out that is inherent with this move and the Cardini change and all of those moves, and it's that there's going to be a little straining of the muscle. So you're going to see that the hand is creating a little pressure, and that's okay. That's why we have recommended you to do the move as you're moving your hands. That way, it hides the fact that you're putting a little bit of pressure in their hand. Just know that you will have some sort of force that's happening in your hand that it technically shouldn't be there. So we're trying to hide that muscle tightening by using some sort of motion to disguise it just a little bit. Very, very good peek. Thank you so much for Titanis and also Lloyd for bringing in all those little subtleties. Now that you have a wide array of peaks that you have in your arsenal, let's take a look at a basic routine that you can utilize with any of those. So, George, would you mind helping me out real quick?
Sure.
All right. Very, very simply, do you want to see if we can get our minds working together?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay, so this is how good of an artist are you?
Terrible.
Terrible. Okay, so maybe you'll do something like somebody's name or a number, something like that. Anything you want, okay? So what I want you to do is think of either somebody's name or a 1, 2, even a 3-digit number. It could be a place. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Now, usually people forget what it is that they're thinking of because they get nervous. They're in front of an audience or in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So would you mind just writing it down? That way we can also let the people at home in on what it is that you're thinking of. Okay, now I'm going to be turned around. That way you can't see. I mean, I can't see.
And I should show the camera.
The camera right there.
There you go.
You got it?
Yep.
Beautiful. Now make sure it's face down so I can't see it. And then we're going to place that right inside, right there with my ID. Okay? And I don't know whether you're thinking of somebody's name, a number. You could even draw something, but you chose not to draw something.
Yeah, probably best not to.
This is what we're going to do. Just take a deep breath in and let it out. And because I took one at the same time that you did, we're pretty much connecting our thoughts and our minds together. Let me see if I can draw something or actually just write something down here. And let's see. Take another deep breath with me and let it out. All right, I'm feeling a lot of tension, at least within me, which lets me know that it's not a person. Usually, whenever people think of a person, I feel very nice and calm. But when people think of a number, I feel a little bit queasy inside. So you must be thinking of a number.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Just think whether it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. Oh, it's 4. You're thinking of 4. Mm-mm. No. Not like there's 4 digits, but there's definitely a 4 in the number, right? There's okay. Let me see. Now, could it be the beginning, the middle, the end? I don't know. Just in your mind, repeat the number over and over and over again. Just in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm following it. And I think this is it. For the first time, what was the number that you were thinking of?
314.
314.
Yeah.
Almost like pi.
Oh, that's exactly.
Oh, that's exactly why. Check it out. Look. 314. There it is. Do you mind if I check? You're not just making it up to make me feel good. Oh, and there it is. 314. Oh, thank you so much.
That was fun.
All right. Now that you've seen what a basic performance might look like, we can talk a little bit about how you can go about doing the same thing. Some little touches that's going to elevate the routine just a little bit more. And I just want to point out that for me, at least, I barely ever perform the same thing again. So I like to listen to what people are talking about, and if the situation comes up with something that has to do with the mind or some sort of astral projection or whatever, I try to use that as the presentation so that it's relevant for them and it makes sense. Now here in the studio, we just went with a very generic presentation, just kind of like getting our minds together. One of the things to keep in mind is after you get your peak, so as you saw, we get our peak, right? So we have George write down a number, or it could be anything he wants. In this case, he chose a number, we put it inside, and we're not getting the peak just yet. We're making a little bit of conversation just about anything. And then once you're ready to get your peak during the routine, all you're gonna do is get the peak, take the card out, and you already know how to do the peak, so we're gonna take the card out. Now all the attention is gonna go to this card. We can get rid of the wallet for now. And then we're also not just going to reveal the information instantly. If you just go and tell him, oh, it's 314, or if you put it in and you just instantly, right after you peaked it, you tell them, oh, you're thinking of 314, there's no journey, there's no, so how do I explain it? You're not building any tension. You're not having them go through like a roller coaster of, let's say, emotions, right? So basically, my personal preference is always to get stuff wrong. So I always like to make them feel like I messed up in some sort of way. In this case, it just happens that I had him think of either a 1, 2, or a 3-digit number. But because I know that I peaked 314 and 4 is not the amount of numbers that he was thinking of, I gave him that number so that he tells me a no. And that's going to make him maybe feel bad for me a little bit, which is good, because then when I start revealing stuff, it's going to be that much better. You're going to get a much better reaction because you were lower. Okay? So basically, I just asked him, were you thinking of a 1, 2, or 3-digit number? And then it's almost like I stop thinking and I say 4. But he thinks I'm talking about the amount of numbers that he's thinking of. I'm just talking about the actual number that was written on the card, the 314, right at the end. So then he feels a little bit bad for me. I then tell him, no, I didn't mean like you're not thinking of 4 digits. There's a 4 in your number. And then he's like, oh, yeah. So his face lights up just a little bit. And then we start to move into revealing the other 2 numbers as well. So now he definitely knows that I know 4, but he doesn't know that I know the whole number. I have him repeat the number over and over in his head. And then I write it down. And then you do your reveal like that. So another thing that we could have done is go number by number. Instead of just me telling him, think of all 3 digits at once, we could very easily say, okay, think of one of the digits. I already know 4, so think of another one. And now think of the next one. And then we write it down, and then it almost divides each number individually one by one. Again, it's completely up to you. My advice is just to have a time delay from when you peeked the card to when you reveal it. And you should also have a time delay from where they place the card and when you do your peek. It shouldn't be place the card, immediately peek. You can if that's part of your routine, but I think it's best if the card is already in the wallet, and you start talking about what it is that you're going to do. So in a second, we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to let it out. And basically what we're doing is we're just getting our minds to connect. And you're just doing this to create that time delay so that when you do go get your card and you put it down and you get your peek, it goes by even more unnoticed because there's less vigilance on the card that they have the information. So once again, feel free to use whatever presentation you want to go with. I like to go with whatever it is people are talking and have it make sense for them at that moment. But if you want to create and write your own scripts, feel free to do that. This is just a very basic example to get you started. One thing I want to point out is the way in which you're taking the card from the back of your wallet. As we mentioned previously in the peek section, we're conditioning them to the movement so that when you do get your peek, it feels even more natural. We're doing the movement exactly the same way as we're going to do it after they've already written their card, or their number, or their drawing, or their word, whatever it is they wrote or they're thinking of. And then we're going to do the same motion again as we do the peek, so that once again it goes by even more under the radar. Let's take a look now at a different example performance using a different peek. So George, would you mind helping me out again?
Sure.
Yeah. How's everything? Good? Everything
Pretty
good?
Pretty good. Hey guys.
Good. Thank you so much for helping. Oh yeah, you can say hello. Usually they talk back, but we can't hear them. We can't hear them. Everybody's making fun of us now. Probably throwing their food at their TVs. Shut up, just get on with it. Blah.
Well, they're just ruining their TVs. Whatever.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't affect us. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Basically, I just want you to think of let's do a person this time. Okay? Or a word. Any word. Whatever you want. Sounds good?
Yep.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. And just so the people at home can see it, do you mind writing it on there, showing it to the camera? Now, I'm not going to look. That way, it's a complete secret for me. If not, the trick would be not very good. You would know exactly how I did it.
Yep.
You got it?
Yep.
Is it face down?
Face down.
Face down. And, you put it over there. Basically, I wanted you to put it right in here to keep it a secret. That way, it's completely safe. Can I use your hand for a second? Yep. All right. And put your other hand on top.
Like that?
Yep. And just think of the word in your mind. Okay, maybe feel what the word would be like. If there's colors, maybe see the Red?
Yeah.
You were, but you could have been thinking of many different colors, but for some reason you were thinking of red. That's really interesting. Is it? There's a J. There's a J for sure. And does this move? Is it almost jiggly in a way? Is it? You can tell me. Yeah, a little bit. But this is something you would definitely eat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just in your mind, keep saying it over and over again, over and over. Is it jelly, Jello?
Jello.
You're thinking of Jello. Oh, my favorite. Oh, and you chose the red. That's incredible. That's incredible. So as you saw, very, very simple. All we did is we used the peak in which we asked for their hand. Can you hold on to this? And as we do that, that's when I got the peak. I saw that it was Jello. And then when I'm basically describing what it is that he's thinking of, for some reason the color red came to my head and I just said it. So I encourage you at any time, if for instance Jello, obviously the color red is going to make sense because that's the flavor that it could be, but it's okay if you get it wrong because it's only reinforcing the fact that you don't know what it is that they're thinking. And then when you do get it right, because you know you're going to get it right, you just read it, the reaction is going to be that much better. And also, everything will seem more genuine. It's going to feel like you're really trying to figure out what it is that they're thinking of in their mind. That's why I also added the little jiggly part, because Jello, it reminds me, it just moves like that. So, very, very simple. Just go straight to your peak and say whatever comes to your mind that's relevant to that object or whatever it is that they're thinking of. And it's okay if you get it wrong because you know that ultimately you're going to get it right. In this section, we're going to go over many different ways in which you can load your wallet, a playing card, a business card, or different objects into your zipper compartment. So we're going to start from the most basic to the most, I wouldn't say complicated, but to the one that requires a little bit extra setup. So the most basic is with absolutely nothing. So if you don't have anything on the back of your card, no credit card, nothing on the back of the card, and you have the card palm, we'll get into all of those things later. For now, let's just focus on the actual loading of the card. So if we're here, you would just feel the top of the wallet with your fingers, and then you're going to feel the pocket, and it's almost like you're going to squeeze the card into the pocket. You're just going to move your pinky down, and because your pinky's there, it's going to slide the card in. So then you can use the crotch of your hand to continue to push the card into the wallet as you pull it out from your pocket. And the way you remove the card from inside the compartment, if you haven't pushed it all the way in, all you do is you take your finger, you place it underneath the card, you slide the card to the bottom of the wallet. That's going to clear the opening, and then you start to pull it out. So once you see the corner is already sticking out from here, you can just pull the card out. Now, it's safe to say that once you push the card down and you pull it out, you can also show the back if you want, for whatever reason, because the card will not be coming out from the pocket. Even though I like doing the card to wallet with this method, using absolutely nothing in the back, I still feel like it's a little bit easier if we use a slider. Now, you know that you didn't receive a slider in your wallet, in your package, and that's because I didn't want you to have your wallet to be bulky, and I didn't want you to have stuff in the wallet that had no purpose. So instead, we're gonna repurpose what you already carry with you to function as a slider. So we're gonna take any credit card. In this case, I'll just take this one, and then you just place your card there, and now this just became your slider. Okay, so once you're ready to perform, all you do is you pull this up a little bit, and you set that in your back pocket, in your top pocket. It all depends which palm and how you're gonna load it. But the idea is that you have this. The card in this case is gonna be on a classic palm. We're gonna feel the credit card and immediately push the card in, And now, once it's there, you just continue to push until it clears everything. Now, notice that the credit card also goes down, but there's nothing to worry about. I'll show you how to get away with that in just a second. For now, let's just know that the card went inside, and if you paid attention, the credit card is here, and then the card was above it, which means when I turn the wallet over, that card is really going to be underneath the credit card. So if we look inside the wallet, you'll see here, it's good because you actually have to stick your finger in just like you did before and move the card in all the way down to the bottom of the wallet so it clears the opening, and then you're going to be able to pull it out exactly like you did without the credit card. So just like that, the card can be seen and taken out of your wallet. But what if you don't want your credit card to go all the way in? Because technically now I would have to take it out and set it back up so that I can perform again. What if you just want to leave it there and you want to use your credit card as a slider, but then you also want the card to always stay there? It's actually very simple to do, and I have one already made up so you can see what it looks like. I have it right here. So all I did was I added a little piece of card to the bottom of the credit card. And all that does is it acts as a stopper so that when you're here, there's no way that card is going to go any further than that, okay? So just like this, you can just use any playing card. I want to mention that the way I've set this up, it still allows us to use the magnetic strip, and it still lets us use our little chip card. So just make sure when you set this up, you're moving your card so that you have the space so that you can still swipe your card with a magnetic strip, and you're putting it on the opposite side of where you have the chip. Now, if you want to have this function as something as well, which is what I'm actually going to do from now on, is using any one of these little cards that they have a barcode and you can scan it. Some grocery stores have it. In this case, this is just my gym membership. You can take that and tape it to the credit card, just like that. So now you have a credit card that also functions as your little tag with the barcode. You don't have to have it in your on your keys. You don't have to have it anywhere else, or you're not going to lose it because it's always going to be with your credit card. So this is just one other way in which you can use the credit card as a stopper. And it works exactly the same. The beauty of having this like this is that now when this is in your back pocket, you can get ready immediately. You just bring your hand inside and pull the card out, and now it's ready for you to load it exactly how we did the other one. So you open it up, you come inside, pull the card down to the bottom of the wallet, and then take it out. As you can see, if I turn the wallet over, the card is still there exactly how it should look. So it's never going to go down. You can very safely and easily put this now back in your pocket, and if you even want to get ready on the spot, just pull it up, and now you're ready to do another card to wallet effect. These credit card and slider ways of loading the card are incredible, and I really like them. But my favorite way to load the wallet is with a dollar bill or with any sort of money. So we're gonna remove this, and actually we'll take the clip as well. We'll take it off since we don't need it. And now we're gonna use this. We'll get to that later. Now we're gonna use our dollar bill. So any bill will work. If you're, just as a side note, if you're working in a quiet environment, you don't want a crispy bill because they're gonna hear you loading the card. You're gonna hear the bill. So if you're gonna be in a very quiet environment, use a used up bill. If you're gonna work in a normal environment that has some room noise, you can use any bill at all. A brand new bill will work. So all you do is you fold it in half, and we're going to place it in that section here in the top pocket section. Now I like to open this up, put my fingers inside, and then pull it down. Now, once it's down, you want to leave it so that you have about, I'm gonna say that's a little bit over a finger and a half here, maybe 2 centimeters or half an inch. As you can see, we have the bill coming out of the pocket that leads into the zipper compartment. We're gonna use this bottom pocket to hold the bill open. So this is going to now be open like this. I like to also give this a little bit of a bend backwards. You don't want to put like a big bend. It's almost like you're just very nicely folding it back. So now what this will let you do is, once again, you have the card in palm, you're gonna feel the bill and immediately feed that card inside. There's different ways in which you can continue now. I'll show you my preferred method and then another way in which you can do it, which works just as well. But for this way, in order for you to push it in, you're going to use your finger to slide the bill out of that pocket. The second you slide it out, just go ahead and push the card inside. It's gonna slide in like butter, and that's it. So now when you open up the zipper compartment, of course after you take it out of your pocket and you pull it out, you're going to be showing only the bill. The card is going to be inside of that bill. So you can actually hold it like this and leave it there. And we're gonna go into a routine later which takes advantage of this. But for now, just know that you can load your card into a bill and you can show it on all sides. It's only when you pull it out that you'll see that there's a card inside of that bill. If you liked using the bill as a slider, which I absolutely love, this is one extra way to make it even more impressive. And for that, we'll need some paper clips. Okay, so we're gonna use some paper clips. There you go, we have some paper clips right here. So now all you have to do is take your bill exactly like you did before, and you're going to, you don't have to use 4, by the way. If you want, you can use 1, or you can use 2. So notice what I'm doing. The bill is folded in half, and I'm putting 1 on the bottom, 1 on the side, another one on the other side, and now you're gonna take this and you're gonna add it inside, you're gonna put it inside of your wallet. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna put the first clip in, then we'll put the second clip in by pulling it from the side like this. That goes inside. And now when we close it, you're gonna do the same thing as we did before. We're gonna place the bill and keep it held open like that. And the last paper clip, you're going to place it only on the uppermost part of the bill, the part of the bill that's not tucked in. And that's gonna also help as a slider. So I don't like to put this little piece, as you can see, this piece of the paper clip past that bill, because you run into the chance of accidentally placing the card inside of that. So what I like to do is have it slightly higher so that I start putting the card in on the bill, exactly as if it didn't have those paper clips. So now that we're in the same situation as we were before, and you already know that you can slide this open and then push in, I'll show you the other way in which you can push the card in, which is true for this version or the version without the paper clips. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use the card's strength to pull that out of the pocket. And what I mean by that is if we try to push down, you're gonna see that that's very difficult to pull out. So what you wanna do in your pocket is bend the card slightly backwards, and that's gonna give the card a little extra force. And it's going, if you notice, it's going to pop the bill. I'm going slowly. It's gonna pop the bill out. And you just continue to push in, and that's it. So now, when you pull the card, when you open up the zipper compartment and you pull this out, they will see that the bill is now paper clipped. So they see 1, 2, 3 paper clips. before you remove the whole thing, you want to be aware that the paperclip will not appear to be clipping the playing card. So in order to, as you'll see here, you see it's technically not on the card. It's only on the bill. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the illusion that it is. As you can see, when we pull the bill out, we're just keeping our thumb on top of the discrepant part, right? Because this is not really clipped. So we're just keeping our thumb right here. And then we're just going to pretend like we're removing that paperclip. Not that slow. You want to do it just a little bit quicker so it gives the illusion that everything was clipped. At this point, you can hand it to your spectators so now they can take out 1, 2, 3 paper clips, and then when they open up, they'll see that their card is inside, which was inside of the wallet, which is incredible. Let's very briefly go over which orientation and how to place the wallet in your pocket. I know it sounds super simple, but it's going to be important if you're going to be doing your palm, card to wallet or anything like that. All you want to do is have the back of the wallet facing up. Take whichever hand you're going to be palming, whether it's your right hand or your left hand. You're going to place your fingers on the back of the wallet, and then you just place the wallet in whichever pocket. So here, front or back, by always holding the wallet like that. That's going to make sure that when you palm the card, when you go grab the wallet, it's going to naturally let you load the card into the wallet. And the same is true with your left hand. You just hold the wallet in that hand, and then you would place the wallet in whichever pocket. And then if you palm with the left hand, when you go get the wallet from your pocket, it's going to be in the right orientation for you to load the card into the zipper compartment. One thing to be aware of is not only the orientation of the deck, whether it's face up or face down, but also whether you're palming from the bottom or the top is going to dictate whether the card will come out face up or face down from the zipper compartment. So just be aware of the orientation of the deck, in which palm you're using, in case whichever routine you're doing, you want the card to either instantly be revealed by it being face up, or to keep it a little bit more mysterious by having it face down. Before we move on, let's take a look at how to make your credit card with the stopper so that your credit card doesn't go all the way down into the wallet. So we're going to use a gift card here, and if you have bicycle cards, this is going to be very easy. If not, it's also going to be very easy, but I'll get into that right after. So all you're going to do is fold your card in half. And now you can either use scissors. I recommend you use scissors because we just want to move along. We're going to just rip it right in the center. So technically, all you're doing is getting 2 pieces of card that fold on each other, and they create a quarter of a card. That's important because then what you're going to do is you're just going to take this card and place it on that credit card. Now, normally you would have the magnetic strip and then your chip, so make sure you're not putting it over the magnetic strip. If not, you're not going to be able to use your credit card, and you're also not putting it on the side where your chip is. So your chip should be on the opposite side of where you're placing the card. So if you have the white border facing outside of the credit card, as you can see, is not inside, is outside. The way you know how much to have it protruding outside of that credit card is by the head of the angel. So your range could be from the chin, as you can see here. We just have it lined up with the chin, or anywhere up to the head. It's going to create that separation so that your credit card stays on that top level inner pocket. So once you have it in the correct location, it's not obtruding the magnetic strip, and it's also not blocking your chip on the other side. You're just going to take your pieces of tape and you're going to tape it down. And I should also mention that you want to make sure that it goes all the way to the corner here, like so. So once you're set, you want to squeeze in that tape so it doesn't come up. Now I'm doing this very, very quickly. You, of course, would have cut the card. You can even put some double-sided stick tape inside like I did over there, so it's very nice and neat. It goes without saying, if you don't want to use the credit card, I mean the playing card, you can use your barcode. All you have to remember is that the distance, if you don't have a bicycle card or you're using something else, the distance from the bottom of the credit card that protrudes out, so this distance right here, should be 2.1 centimeters or 0.8 inches. So that's pretty much it. And if you're also wondering how wide I have this, this is exactly 3 centimeters or 1.2 inches. Regardless, we're going to put it on the screen so you're going to be able to see it. So that's how you make your gimmick, whether you use a playing card, bicycle, or just a piece of plastic. You can now make this in less than 2 minutes. Let's say that you're trying to do your load for the card to wallet and you're finding the card doesn't slide in easily like this. One of the reasons why that might be happening is because the card might be coming in at an angle. So if you see here, if I put it in at an angle, it's a little bit harder for me to push it in. You can still push it in, but it requires more force. So just be aware when you come to the wallet, you can also use the side of this part of the wallet here, right there, to let you know the orientation of your wallet in your pocket. One of the things I like to do is push the wallet to the corner of the pocket. So if this is the pocket, rather than just having it in the middle, I would push it to the edge of my pocket so that I know that it's straight. That way you also know exactly where it's going to be in your pocket when you go palm it, and you also know how straight you have to go. So just in case, if you're finding the card is getting caught or you're finding it difficult to push the card in, just move it slightly and then it's going to slide in like butter. Now let's take a moment to talk about the envelope. So along with the instructions, you also received a PDF file. You want to go ahead and print that out. That's going to be the template, which is going to let you cut out your paper like this so you can create as many envelopes as you want. Just make sure you don't scale it because it's perfectly sized for it to fit in the wallet. So go ahead, print it out. You want to cut along the black lines, and if you're going to use just regular paper like I am here, you want to fold along the lines here. So this little edge here, you want to fold it inside. You want to fold the one on the other side as well. And then the part that has this opening of the envelope, this flap, you're going to fold it in like that. And then this part also folds this way. So it looks like an envelope. Now, to put it together, all we have to do is get a little bit of the rubber cement, and you're going to put it to begin on only one side. So you're only going to place it on whichever side you want. Let's say we're going to put it here. We're going to put some rubber cement there. Then we're also going to put some rubber cement right here. Then you're going to let it sit there for about 30 seconds to about a minute. And then you're going to close it up. So we're going to basically just dry the rubber cement just a little bit because that's how it sticks the best. And then once you close it, you're going to have this. I've always wanted to do that. Like those baking shows where, oh, we put the thing in the oven and then it comes out. So this one's ready. We've already made it and it's already glued on one side. Then to finish your setup, and here's where you want to be a little bit careful, is you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to add the rubber cement on this side. You're going to add the rubber cement on there. You're going to let it sit for about a minute, 2 minutes. In fact, for as long as you want, because you're not going to close it until you actually go into performance. So you want to wait about a minute or 2 minutes. Once it's dry, you can take either a playing card or a business card. I'm going to fold this playing card a little bit so it looks more like a business card, and we're going to place it inside. All that's going to do is it's going to make sure that the envelope doesn't close before we actually want it to. So as long as you put that there, you're going to be able to either use one of the, I have this little sticker here that has a 1, but in the stationery stores, they usually sell colorful little round stickers that you can use to close the envelope. So in this case, I would close the envelope like this. We're going to take the sticker off, and then we would close it like that. And so this would technically now be ready to perform. We're going to show you later on different ways in which you can store your envelopes, so you can make as many as you want. You can have them stored, and they will be good for weeks after you put your rubber cement and you have it set up. As long as these two parts don't meet, you're going to be set, and they're going to be ready to perform whenever you need to use them. So if you don't, let me put this back inside. Now, if you don't have one of these round stickers, or you don't want to use this, you can do a few things. You can glue it with the rubber cement. So now this is just going to be perfectly sealed. And once you remove this and you have whatever you want inside of that envelope, it's just going to seal and they won't be able to open it. So they're going to have to rip it open. That's an option for you. The other option is just taking tape and using that to close your envelope like this. So you can either use one of those stickers, you can seal it completely with the rubber cement, you can use the tape, or you can use any other idea that you have. So this is how we make the envelope, this is how we put it together. But I also want to mention, if you have your template, your paper that you printed out, you can take this and put it on a thicker stock paper. So now what that's going to let you do is you're going to be able to trace it, you're going to cut it out, and you're going to have a template that's going to let you make as many envelopes as you want. And if you do it out of a harder material, you're just going to be able to put it down on whichever paper you want to use as your envelope. I recommend Tyvek's, but just regular print paper, photocopy paper works just as well. And then once you have your template and you've selected your paper, you just trace over it with an X-Acto knife, and you've made an envelope, and you can do that as many times as you want. So later on in this video, we're going to go over different ways in which you can use the envelope, how you set it up in your wallet, and also how to store as many envelopes already prepped as possible. Now that you know how to make your envelope, let me show you a quick trick you can do with it. All you need is to borrow a ring from your spectator. You hold it in their hand and you have them hold onto your wrist as tight as you can so they know the ring can't go anywhere. Then you just need a Sharpie. So we get our Sharpie and we place it into, we place it into the hand like this. We snap our fingers and the ring is gone, 100% gone. It's not there. You can clearly see the ring is gone. At this point, they probably are going to say that the ring is on the Sharpie, and you tell them, no, it's not. It's really not. But if I tap here, you probably think it's in the hand, but it's really also gone. So now you can clearly show your hands empty as you come and you tell them that you have something for them in your wallet. When you take it out and you show them that inside your wallet you have a little envelope, you can even have them pull it out if you want. But at this point, you then, either you or your spectators can then open up the envelope, and inside they will find their ring. So this is just one way in which you can use your envelope with a ring. So let's learn very quickly how to do it. I'm going to reuse this envelope here just so we can get on with the explanation. So I'm just going to open the part that we had set up so that it locks, and the part that's opened on the wallet, we're gonna open that up. And for now, I'm just gonna stick my fingers in as I re-close that envelope, okay? Now, all you have to do, if you want, you can do it like this with your fingers in it. Go ahead and place your envelope. I like to do it with the opening of the envelope or the sticker side, also facing the ID. So they're both facing the same direction, and then that's gonna go in. Now, what you're gonna use to make that not close on itself is the actual Sharpie itself. So you're gonna take the Sharpie, place that inside, and you want to push the envelope all the way in, or pretty much to the rim of the credit card pocket right there. So once you have that there, make sure also the zipper is closed, and you want to push the Sharpie to the side opposite of the zipper. That's going to create this opening in the wallet here. So as you can see, we have that opening right there. Now, the way in which you make the ring vanish is completely up to you. Here, all I did was I put it in purse palm like this. So I flicked it up, it landed here, and as I went to transfer, I just clip it between the ring and index finger, and that's it. And then you just have them hold on to your wrist, and that's pretty much it. So if you don't want to do that, you can also just do a false transfer where you have the ring anywhere in your on your finger, and as you turn the hand over, you just bring your thumb and you're stopping that ring from actually falling into the hand. So you just do a false transfer. You obviously time it so that the hand closes at the same time, and then you make it vanish at any time that you want. So there's many options for you to make the ring vanish. Choose whichever one you like best. I'm gonna show you what the load looks like from the front, then we'll show you from the back, and you'll also see some close-ups, okay? So this is supposed to be in my pocket at the moment. So let's imagine that it's in my pocket, and my hand is gonna go behind my back to go get the Sharpie. So this is what would happen. We have this in finger palm. As we go, we're gonna go around the Sharpie, as you can see, and I'm pretty much holding the ring and the Sharpie at pretty much the same time. Now, once I know that I can drop the ring into that opening, I just let go of the ring and I pull out the Sharpie. So let me show you from the back now what's happening. And I'm gonna open up my finger so you can get the illusion that you're seeing through the fingers, okay? So once again, this is finger palm. You go behind your back to get the Sharpie, and here we'll open up the finger. So this is what's happening, right? You can clearly see that now if I drop it, that's gonna go right in the opening as I pull the Sharpie out. So now let's take a look at what it looks like close up. Once again, you have this ring or their ring palmed. You're gonna reach around the Sharpie and just drop the ring right into that pocket like this. Of course, this is in your wallet. I mean, of course, this is in your pocket, right? So you have nothing left to do with the wallet at this moment. You just come out with the Sharpie. If you want, you can just tap and have it disappear, or you can do what I was improvising during the performance, and that's you pretend to fix the ring, place the Sharpie inside. Now, in their minds, they obviously think you're threading the ring through the Sharpie. So we're just creating an image in their head that's actually not true. Then we're going to solidify that image by snapping our fingers and doing this little gag where it looks like it disappears. Now, all you're doing is trying to hide a part of the Sharpie where you think the ring could be. As you say, look, it's gone. You can play this up as much as you want or as little as you want, and then you can pull it out, and at this point, they're gonna think the ring is there. You can show this as cleanly and openly as you can. Then you snap your fingers, and that's when you can show that the ring is actually completely fully vanished. Then very openly and cleanly, you show your hands empty. You go to take your wallet out. When you do, press the top of the wallet. That's gonna help you seal the envelope. And just in case, also remember to place your pinky right at the top of the wallet there as you take your envelope out. You don't want it to accidentally flash. And we're going to take it out like this. And once again, if you want to make sure that that's sealed, just press. As you see, I'm just putting pressure there so that this part of the envelope that had the opening with the rubber cement can seal. At this point, you can hand this to your spectators and have them open it themselves. Of course, I've been using this little sticker for a while, so it's unsticking already, but we're gonna open it up and dump out the ring. And there you go. Now, if you used the envelope where you sealed it, just go ahead and tear the part of the envelope that got glued, throw that away, and then you can let them keep the envelope with, of course, the ring. Before we move on to other things you can do with your envelope, I do want to mention that it doesn't have to be a ring. It could be a coin, it could be a bottle cap, it could be absolutely anything that's small, and it's going to fit in your little envelope and in your wallet. Now, remember, this is keeping it open so you can put in there pretty big, thick things if you want to have that show up in your envelope as well. And you don't be limited to a false transfer or stealing it. Use your imagination and make it disappear however you want. Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking you can use the Sans Mine vanishing ring. You can have them put them inside, steal it as you hand it to somebody else. Then you take out the Sharpie, you give it to them, and then they do the magic where it seems like you you technically never even touched the ring. So keep your mind open and know that it doesn't have to be a ring. It could be any small object. And you can use any type of vanish that you want. So now let's move on to other things that you can do with the envelope. Before I show you the next thing we're gonna be making, let me show you what would happen. So let's imagine you have a card selected, maybe you're doing an ambitious card routine, and you wanna finish your routine. You're going to then have the signed card vanish from the deck, and you're going to take out the wallet and you're going to show the envelope. Then you're going to open up the envelope, and inside the envelope is going to be your business card. Now, the cool thing is that you can then give them this to hold, and they can hold on to the business card, and you can make their card appear at any time. Or the second you pull it out from the envelope, you can then show that there's a card paper clipped to that business card, and this now becomes a gift that they can take home. Of course, when they open it up, it's going to be their signed card. So let's learn how to do this real quick. Before you learn how to do it, I will show you how it works. I'm going to open up this envelope here like this, just so you can see what's happening. But we just make this little card with the paper clip, and we're going to place that card inside of the envelope like so. And this is one way, actually this is my preferred way to store my envelopes because it keeps them separated and everything looks nice and neat. Once you're ready to use this, all you have to do is place it inside of your wallet. Of course, make sure the paper clip goes on the inside, not the outside of the wallet. Then once it's in, you can then pull this up and then put the little piece of the paper clip inside of the envelope. If you notice, we had it on the outside, but only so that that card can't go in and accidentally lock the envelope for us. We were using the paper clip as a stopper. Now that we're going to perform, we're going to open it up, we're going to push that in, we're going to pull it out slightly. This is now our slider. Sometimes I like to bend the paper clip slightly open like this, and that's just going to make the load that much easier. So once you have, let me hold it like this, that's going to be in our pocket. Then you're going to have a card selected, signed, you're going to do your routine, at which point you're going to get your card Mercury card folded. If you don't know the Mercury card fold, I'm going to show it to you very, very quickly, but feel free to go online and search. I'm sure you're going to find it. Basically, you want to have your thumb in the middle of the deck, very deep into the, it's almost like a biddle grip with a deep thumb right in the center. You're going to take the opposite hand, your lower hand, and you're going to just bend the card backwards until both ends meet, just like this. And then you're going to finish off by just squeezing it around the thumb. You then just bring that card under the deck and you can squeeze it. But again, do a search online. I'm sure you're going to find the Mercury card fold. Once you have that card folded, then you just come. You're going to use the paper clip with your finger to feel where it is. Once you know where it's at, you're going to push in the folded card right there, and with your thumb, push it all the way down. Okay? Then, because this is against your leg or your back, you're going to grip the wallet and pull your thumb out. So you're going to use this pressure of your leg and the hand to pull your thumb out, regrip, and pull the wallet out. Once you take the wallet out, you're going to open it up, and you're going to take out your envelope. Notice how we're putting the pinky here so it doesn't flash. And now I'm going to squeeze the wallet because I want to seal that up. And that's going to seal our envelope. Now, once again, you can give it to your spectators, but when it comes with the business card, I actually like opening it up myself. So we'll open it up. I put the little tape now. So we take the business card out, and you can either hand it to them and they can hold on to it, or you can just instantly reveal that there's a folded card in the back, and it's, you know, of course, the sign. Well, this is not the signed card, but it'll be the signed card. So let's go into how to make this. For this, you'll need a little bit of tape. You'll need some business cards, as many as you want to make, and then, of course, a paper clip. So if we take a look at what we've done here, there's a few things that are important in order for the load and the mechanism to work. You want to take the paper clip, and you can see that there's a smaller side, which is this one. That little curve is very small, and this one is wider and bigger. So the part that we're going to be taping to the business card is the small part. We're going to take that, place it like so. Notice it's also not in the middle. But you can play around with the position of the paperclip. I like to put it just above the middle, just a little bit above the middle where you see it there. Then this is the important part. What you want to do is take your tape and make sure that you're taping the top of the paperclip. So this little part up there is very important. If you were to just tape down here, so if I were to place the tape only in this section here, that would mean this part is open, and when you come to do your load, you might accidentally put the card in between the business card and the bottom part of the paperclip. So to avoid that, we just put the tape there, and then we're gonna push it down with our nail. We're gonna push it down all the way, and I like to also cover this little section, the little tip of the paperclip at the bottom, but that's just my OCD. You don't have to do that. As long as this is covered, the card is going to slide in and it's going to work great. So this, once again, is how you would be storing it. You would place the business card inside and make sure that this little part of the paperclip, the tip, is on the outside, and now you can have as many as you want and they're not going to stick. So you can prep as many of these as you want and have them ready, and they're going to be good for weeks. Now, do test it out, because I live here in California and I've set them up and they have lasted up to even 3 weeks. So I've had them set up and 3 weeks later they still work. Another thing that I also want to mention before we move on is your business cards. They're different in sizes, like very, very minute little differences. So one thing, if you notice that this envelope doesn't hold a whole business card, you might want to get some scissors and trim just a tiny little edge of one corner and a tiny little edge on the opposite corner as well. All that's doing It's reducing the width of the card so that when you push it in, it goes all the way in, and then you're actually going to get the envelope to seal up for you. If for some reason your business card is too long, it may not fully seal. So just be aware you test it out before you go out and perform it. Now, it goes without saying that we are using playing cards and a Mercury card fold. But I just want to open up your mind a little bit, and it doesn't have to be a playing card. It could actually be a prediction that's folded up, and it's a mentalism routine. So you can do a mentalism routine in which maybe you have a notebook and you already have a card pre-folded behind the notebook with some pre-written information. Just for the sake of completeness, let's say it's a number, super easy. So it'll say, I believe today they will think of the number 32. So you don't write 32, you leave it open. You then obtain that information somehow, and you steal the billet, and then this is what you load into your wallet. So then what you're going to take out of the envelope will be your business card plus a prediction that you wrote on the back of that business card, and they're going to be able to keep that as well. Now, if you don't want to do 2 business cards, this could just be a little piece of paper, and or a Post-it note. It could be absolutely anything. So don't box yourself into thinking you can only do playing cards. You can also do billets, money, Post-it notes, anything you want. Before we move on to the next section, I want to mention that you can also use your envelope together with your card to wallet. So all you would need is to have your business card, and you're going to use the business card as your slider, like this. And now, when you come with your palm card, you're going to, if you can palm, you're going to come with a palm card, and you're going to push the card against the business card and just push down. You have 2 options at this point. You can push the business card in together with the card, or you can take the business card out if you don't want the business card to be in the envelope. So let's just imagine we want the business card to be in the envelope. We then open up the wallet here, and as we take it out, this will all seal up. We're gonna open it up, and then inside we'll take out the card and the business card. Here's the deal. People think that I'm a magician and I have some sort of magic powers, but really I'm just incredibly lucky, and it's because of what I keep in my wallet. Really, I'll show it to you in a second, but first, take any card at all that you want, whichever one, and remember it. Actually, you don't even have to remember it, because you're gonna put your name on it. So sign it across the face, show the camera. You got it? Okay, so here, put it back. And it doesn't really matter where the card goes because it's not that kind of a trick. It's really not even a trick. In fact, you're gonna shuffle all those, so shuffle them up as much as you want. Here, and I'm gonna show you my very lucky item. I keep it with me right here at all times. We'll leave it right there. It's my lucky bill. Now, when I have that bill, the most incredible things happen. It's unbelievable. You'll see. Are you happy with them? I mean, you're shuffling those really, really well.
I am the worst shuffler.
And you have and remember, you took a card out, you signed it, you put it back, you shuffled, right? And you have no clue where your card could be. Now, I could try to find it, but I don't have to. There's nothing that I have to do because this is gonna do it all. Check it out, look, I can put cards down like this, one at a time, a few at a time, doesn't matter how. And when you say stop, we're gonna get to the right card. So at any time you just say stop, right there, right here.
Oh my God.
The right card, check it out, look, the 2 of clubs. Every single time we get the right card. And there it is.
No.
What do you mean no? That's it, that's the right one. No, look, because of the bill, look. It says it right, do you see that? 2 of clubs, we got the right. It's okay, what did you think we were gonna get?
The 7 of clubs.
Oh no, oh, let's put this. That would be impossible. That would be absolutely impossible. Look, that has been there from the very beginning. And I told you that was my lucky bill. Look, I don't wanna come near it. Here, take it out, and it's all gonna make sense for you. Look, there's one card in there. Take a look. There it is.
That's freaking crazy.
So that's my very lucky bill, and now you have a very lucky card of your own to keep. So thank you so much. There you go. You just saw the lucky routine. We're gonna go over what you need to perform it, and also, of course, how it works. So for this, you're gonna need to gimmick one of your cards. I used a short card, but if you want, you can also just crimp the card. Because I used a short card, I'm gonna show you with the short card here. I'm gonna take, in my case, it's gonna be the 2 of clubs because that's what I have on the bill. You can choose any card at all that you want. Now you're gonna need an X-Acto knife or scissors if you have scissors. If you have scissors, you won't need your ruler. But since I have the X-Acto knife, I'm just gonna cut a sliver of the card. If you can see, that's a very small little portion of the card. I would say a millimeter. We're just gonna go through it. And of course, it goes without saying, do not use the knife unless you're over 21 or with an adult right next to you. We just have to say that. So we're gonna take the next side of the card and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut off just a little sliver of card, and that is gonna give us our short card. If you have a corner punch, you can use it to round your corners. If not, you can take the little eraser and just get rid of the sharpness that you have on the edge. I will show you on this side here, it looks a little bit sharp. And if we take the eraser and we just go around it like this, we make it rounder. That way it doesn't look too straight. So once we have our card short and we round it the corners a little bit, we'll say this is good for now, just for the sake of the explanation. Then you'll need to take your bill. You'll need to take your bill and you're gonna fold the bill in half. It doesn't matter if you fold it with George facing out or inside. And you're gonna take it and you're gonna put it right inside the card to wallet section. I like to open it up and pull it from the inside. Now, once it's about there, take any card, it doesn't matter what card you take, push it in all the way, okay? We're just simulating what would happen during the routine. And now you're going to pull it out. And when you can't pull it out anymore, turn it over, and now you write the card. So after you put it in that position, that's how you know where to write your prediction card or your lucky card. Right, so you would take your Sharpie, write it down, and now it's very easy because all you have to do is keep this in your wallet, and to set it up, all you have to remember is keep the prediction facing the back of the wallet, so you always want to see it as you insert it. Once you insert it, we're going to do the same thing we did when we taught you the card to wallet using the bill. We're just going to put it in there and we're set to go. This now goes into your pocket. We'll leave it here for the explanation. And you want to have your short card on top. And the only reason you want the short card on top is just so that you know that they didn't grab that card, they didn't choose that card during the routine. So you start off your routine, you tell them, go ahead, pick any card, they will take the card, and now you take your Sharpie from the pocket, you give it to them, they will sign the card. Now, one little thing I like to do is pretend it took me some effort to take the bill, and because I wear jeans that are skinny, I usually make a comment like, ooh, my jeans are tight. I shouldn't wear them so tight. And that's just in case I need some little extra time to get the wallet out. It's already programmed in their head. Now we're gonna get the card back. So we're gonna do it in the same exact way in which they picked it. So we had them select a card from a spread. I have them put it back exactly the same way. And as I bring the cards back towards me, I'm going to call their card. We'll do it face up so you can follow. So here they put the card back. I look at them and I tell them, are you happy with the card you have? Or whatever question you want to give. And all that does is it brings the card to the bottom. For those of you that don't know the call, I will very briefly explain it. All you do is put your thumb above the card on top of their selection, and you're going to use the fingers underneath to pull it under the spread. So this is what we're doing, and we do that as we continue to spread. Now I will angle it this way so you can see what I'm doing, because as I close the spread, I'm going to also move the card back so that it very easily goes into cup. Okay, so if we're here, we're gonna call it, and the second I start closing, I start moving that card back. This is of course the exposed view, and now we're gonna have them shuffle the cards as we keep the card in cup. So if we do that in full speed, they're gonna place the card back, we're gonna loose it and tell them, oh, actually, you know what, why don't you shuffle while I go show you my bill, and then, or my lucky item. And then you steal the card out in that way. So once you've gotten the card, you've stolen it, they're shuffling here, the attention is obviously on the deck. You're gonna come in, and without changing the orientation, so we don't want to turn it over or do any of that stuff. We wanna put it in exactly how we copped it out, which is like this. Now you'll load it into the wallet, you already know how, and we're gonna take the wallet out of the pocket as we take the bill out. So once we take the bill out, we leave it protruding like this. And here we can recap and tell them, okay, so think about this. You took a card out, you put it back, you shuffled, you signed it, and you shuffled the deck. Okay, now I don't have to do anything because the bill lets us do the most amazing things, or whatever story you want to go with. The bill brings you luck, right? Now this is going to be shuffled, and you technically won't know where the short card is. So once you get the cards back from your spectator, all you have to do is riffle through the back of the deck until you feel a click. So like this, I feel the click there. I'm going to put my pinky in, and I'm going to keep a break. That click is the short card. So if I show you, there it is. There's that short card. So once you get the deck back, once again, you go through the cards, you feel a click, you keep a break there, and you can even keep the break and spread the cards and tell them, are you happy with how shuffled they are? Now I'm still keeping that break there. Okay, and then we tell them it doesn't matter what I do or when you say stop, we're always going to find the right card because the bill just brings me so much luck. So we have our break on the short card. Now all we have to do is force it. I like to use the timing force, and they just say stop, and then we stop